For this session, we will talk about the overview on SAP. Second, we will talk about your SAP Business One. And third, we will talk about tables and navigation of SAP. Let's start and discuss your introduction to SAP. So, what is SAP? SAP stands for Systems, Applications, and Products in Data Processing. It is founded by five IBM engineers, namely Hasso Plattner, Lars Schira, Lars Wellenreuther, Dietmar Hopp, and Hans Werner Hector. SAP is considered as one of the largest business software company. It is the recognized leader in providing collaborative business solutions for all types of industries and for every major market globally. Why do we say that SAP is considered one of the world's largest business software company? Because as of this writing, the business share of SAP as to accounting software or as to your ERP is 67%. So 67% out of the whole software market in business is commanded by SAP. In short, 67% uses SAP. That 67% translates to 12 million users, around 95,000 installations, and around 1,500 partners, including 60,000 employees. To name a few, the following are some of the industry partners or SAP users here in the Philippines and abroad. So in your consumer products, those are common business that you know here in the Philippines and abroad. You have there your SMC, Coca-Cola, Del Monte, Unilever, Universal Robina. In your media and transpo, ABS-CBN, Cebu Pacific. In your retail, SM, Pen Shop, KFC. In your public or financial services, including Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and Land Bank. In your manufacturing, you have there your Union, Orica, Hitachi. Other sub-users we have here for your telecommunications. We have your PLDT, Smart, Globe, Utilities, Meralco, Maynilad. Oil and gas, we have Petron, Caltex, Shell. Real estate, Ayala, Robinson's Land. Automobile, we have your Honda. Healthcare, St. Luke's, including Riverside Medical Center. So that's only a few of clients which SAP caters. Therefore, having a knowledge as to SAP will help you to be equipped soon if ever you are employed with these sub-users. At least you have a prior knowledge of an ERP or an enterprise resource planning software. Now we go to your SAP Business One. So what is an SAP Business One? Actually, what we will learn here in SAP is your SAP Business One. SAP Business One is an ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning Solution. It is arranged into 15 functional modules, automating the major functions in a business organization. So when we say ERP, that is a software that is used by organizations to manage the day-to-day business operations or activities. So day-to-day business operations and activities. And then this day-to-day business operations and activities is managed by SAP through the different modules. That's why here it says it has 15 functional modules. If ever you have seen the SAP dashboard, you will see there on the left side portion the different modules. Now, your SAP Business One can be through on-premise or SAP Business One on cloud. So the deployment can either be on-premise or on cloud. So let's see the difference of SAP on-premise and on cloud. If that is SAP on-premise, the deployment is remote. When we say remote, it is in the organization itself. While on cloud, you can access it in the internet. As to accounting, the accounting on-premise, since it is remote, you can only account for it localized, meaning within the remote area where you can only access the SAP. While on cloud, you can do branch accounting as long as you can open or access the SAP through cloud. Therefore, you can account even in different branches wherever you are, so long as you can access the internet. As to accessibility, we have here limited for on-premise. Why is it limited? Limited because, again, you can only access it within the organization or within the entity, while on cloud, you can access it anywhere because of remote access. As to data storage, on-premise, we need a hardware here for the storage of the data. For on cloud, we have a server for the cloud. So that's the difference between SAP Business One deployed on-premise and on cloud. For our subject, we are using SAP on cloud. SAP Business One on cloud. Now, let's start navigating to SAP. So the first, of course, is your user interface. So the first that we need to learn here is our menu bar and our toolbar. So here we have a screenshot of our menu bar, which displays at the top of the screen. This menu bar, of course, contains the Windows standard menu. We have your file, edit, view, window, help, etc., as well as generic sub functions. What is one generic sub function here? Of course, your modules, because SAP is made through modules. So integrated 15 modules through SAP Business One. So that is your menu bar. Again, menu bar, Windows standard menu, Windows standard menu, plus some SAP function. Now, we go to another interface that is your toolbar. So your toolbar is just below your menu bar. The toolbar is, of course, collection of your icon buttons that grant you access to commonly used functions in SAP. So again, toolbar, these are commonly used functions in SAP. So that is your SAP screen. Furthermore, on your SAP screen, we also have your modules menu. So your modules menu are the different functions of individual applications. They contain, of course, all lists of modules with their related options. So if ever we open your SAP, you will see on your screen your different modules. You can click on those modules, and underneath these modules are again different set of functions. This modules menu cannot be modified and is restrictive as to access. What do we mean when it is restrictive to access? Because sometimes only few can access items here on our modules menu. Not all users can access it. So for example, the accounting can only access sales, purchasing, etc., but not banking. So your SAP has the capability to restrict access. Now, after having learned about your menu bar, your toolbar, and your modules menu, let's take a look as to your user setup. So how do we set up your user? So first, on the toolbar, you click this person icon that is known as personal settings icon. And upon clicking your personal settings icon, there will be a setup window. So this is an example of a setup window. So under your setup window, you can set up your username. You can also set up your password. So if you want to change your password, if you want to change your password in SAP Business One, you must click these three dotted items here. So once you click the three dotted items, a password pop-up menu will open. So in your password pop-up menu, you can change your old password into your new password. And after that, update it. Okay? So again, how do we set up? First, you click the personal settings in the toolbar so that the person menu. And then you set up either your username or your password. So your username, if you want to change, your password, if you want to change, you click the three dotted menu, click OK, and finally click update. That is how we set up our username and password. Now, as to your branch setting, if we are using cloud computing, we have different branches. So first, you go into administration modules menu. Under administration modules menu, we have there your setup. Under setup, you click financials. Under financials, you click branches. After clicking branches, you can already set up a new branch or edit branches. Then you update. Again, how do we set up your branch? Under administration module, you click setup, click financials, click branches, and then you can also set up branches there and update branch name. Now for general settings, we go to administration menu again, or modules, then system initialization, then general settings. You can set up language, the skin style as to the settings or the theme of your SCP, the color, the time, the date, etc. So these are all general settings you want to set up in your SCP. And then after that, you click the update. Now we go with SAP Tables. So what is SAP Tables? We said that SAP uses your RDBMS. What is an RDBMS again? It is composed of tables, and we show the relation of tables from one table. And a table contains row and column. Row represents your records, and your column represents your different fields. Now, since SAP follows your RDBMS, therefore, SAP has innate tables. So what are common SAP tables? Again, SAP follows concept of RDBMS. Therefore, there are SAP tables. So what are common SAP tables? Okay. So SAP tables. Most tables for SAP Business One have letters. The only exceptions are number ending tables. If the numbers are greater than 9, then they have 5 letters. Okay. So why do we have 4 letters table? Later, we will learn why we have 4 letters table. So the main concept is we first have a 3-letter word table. So we have the following abbreviations in your SAP. So ADM is for administration, ATC for attachments, CPR for contact persons, CRD for business partners, BLN for delivery notes, HEM for employees, INV for invoices, ITM for items, ITT for bill of materials, OPR for sales opportunities, PCH for purchase invoices, PDN for goods receipt PO, POR purchase orders, UUT sales quotations. RDR, sales orders. RIN, sales credit notes. RPC, purchase credit notes. SLP, sales employees. USR, users. WR, production orders. WTR, stock transfers. So we have the basic three letter. And then we only start and we include either O or A as to this table names. O or A as to table names. Okay, so what is an O table? An O table refers to your master table. O here means object. So for example, we want a master table for items. Okay, so here, our table is items. We want a master table. We have OITM. So as you can see, that means it is a master table for items. Okay? O means master table. Therefore, if you place O plus the three-letter tables, it means it is a master table. So we have O, ITM, that is master items. How about, um, uh, let's say, master for your business partners? So we have here CRD. So what do we do? O, CRD means master for business partners or business partners master. Next, we have your A tables. What is an A table? Hey, A table means historical log table. So A is represented by an archive. So the history or the different logs as to a particular transaction or three-letter table in your three-letter descriptive table in your SAP. So for example, you want to have an history for your archive users. Okay. So you have one archive users, a table. So you want users, you will make an archive user. So you have A plus USR. That's why it's AUSR. That's why we said most tables in SAP Business One has four letters. You have your basic three letter. We can add O for a master table. That's why OITM. A for a historical log table, meaning an archive table. So A plus USR, AUSR. Also, we have your document header tables, meaning these are tables related to sales or purchase. So when we say it is related to sales or purchase, then what is the effect? If the table is related to sales or purchase, therefore, these documents are known as marketing documents. So, in your document header tables, you can also add 0 or O after a particular item. So, instead of a master table, you create a document header table. You can also add O plus the three letter. But basically, document header can only use for your sales and purchases. So what are some examples of sales here? So we have here sales invoice, purchases inventories, good receipts, purchases orders, sales quotations, everything that is related to sales and purchases, you can create a document header table. So O plus the three letters. So for example, O plus, let's say, goods receipt. Okay. So OPDN. Right? Document header table. So again, what's the use of your O table? Master table and anything related to your sales or purchases. Next, we have your document line tables. Document line tables are sub-tables meaning they are a line table or a detail table for your master table. So again, a line table or a detail table for your master table. What we have here is we add numbers after it. So for example, we have your items a while back. You can place item 1. So these are document line tables. You add numbers after. So the 3 letter plus the number. 3 letter plus the number. So those are document line tables. So again, what are the different SAP tables? Your SAP tables, they have a common denominator, those 3 letters. And you can have master table by adding O before the 3 letter, A tables for history log or archive tables, A plus the 3 letter. Document header tables made used for your sales and purchases, O plus the 3 letter. Document line tables, your uh, different 3 letters plus a number. Again, when do we have a 5 letter table? 5 letter table, if ever, it is greater than 9. So let's say it is already 11. So let's say ITT 11. So that is already 5 letter. But the general rule, it is a 4 letter. You could add O in the beginning, A in the beginning, or add number into the end. Okay? So those are the different subtables. We have different name subtables. Let's navigate them in a while. So some important tables in SAP, we have your OJDT. OJDT meaning master table for your journal entry. So this table includes all financial journal entries no matter whether they are automatically posted or manually posted. When you say manually posted, you do the posting of the transaction automatically posted depending on your different schedules. We also have your OINM, that is your warehouse journal master file or master table. This table includes all inventory related transactions. It is single point to check everything in relation to your inventory or stock. And another important table is your ADOC. DOC is the document, so archive document. This table includes all document history. As long as we know master or a document header, if ever it is for purchase or sales, A for history or archive. And then we have also your document line that is an additional number at the end of a table name. Now, let's go through viewing the tables. How do we view the different tables inside your SAP Business One? So first, in your menu bar, click Tools, and then under Tools, we have the Queries. Under Queries, you create a query generator. You have here a blank item. You click that blank item, and it now lists the different tables. So if you want to view the different tables in SAP, that is how we do it, through a query generator by clicking the blank. By clicking the blank. Okay? Now, what if we want to know the table fields? We know that per table, we have a row, which is a record, and a column, which is a field. So each table in SAP Business One has its corresponding field names and descriptions applicable to the table. So let's say under your query generator, you queried OITM, meaning the master table for your items. Now, Once you queried that, you have here your different fields. So here are different field names. Item code, item name, foreign name, item group code, code bars, VAT liability, etc. So those are different field names. So once you enter an item into the field, you can create a record. Okay? So that's how your SAP table works. Again, SAP uses RDBMS, and we already know what is an RDBMS. That's why we have certain tables inside SAP. And what are these certain tables? We have already discussed it. It's either O table, A table, document line table, document header table. Furthermore, to view your tables, you can use a query generator. To view the fields of a particular table, you click the table and view those items as to the field names and description of that particular table. And that is the end of our introduction to SAP.